On December 2nd, our good subscriber, I'm a Junk Collector, uploaded a video about an oscilloscope he had just bought, a Heathkit O-8. And I was watching that thing, and it just triggered my memory. I had forgotten all about something, and this is what the O-8 looks like.
Very cheap. It cost me more to shipping than just the item.
And that's about right nowadays, more for shipping.
I believe it's a model 08.
08.
Possibly made in the late 40s, early 50s.
Looks like it's got about a 5-inch scope.
I don't know if it works or not.
That video reminded me that I too have a Heathkit O-scope out in my shed. I had forgotten all about it, all but forgotten about it. I guess every once in a while it would pop into my brain, but it's been quite a while since it had done so. This is an OL1, which came out after the O10. It's a 3-inch scope. And it was given to me, oh gosh, I guess 4, maybe 5 years ago by a fellow. He just said, here, it's yours. And it doesn't work. And somewhere along the line, someone had installed a fuse between the power cord and the on-off switch here. And the fuse was blown, so I'm going to have to figure out what's the matter with it. This thing has 7 tubes, and I've removed them all in order to run them across the tube tester. And the outside of this thing's not too bad. Could be worse. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good cleaning. And if need be, I might even stick it down in the old Evapo-Rust. Why not? You know, rust is rust. But this thing is in pretty good shape, actually. And the interior is very good. All of the resistors and everything look good. Of course, the capacitor, all these capacitors are bad, and probably, the filter caps in particular. And that's probably what blew the fuse. One of these things is, probably I got a big time short in here. So what I'm going to do is just pull out all these little yellow caps you see here and get rid of all those. The resistors look great. Great. And then once I'm all done, then I'm going to go ahead and compare the schematic that I have for it. I have found a schematic for it online right here. And we'll go ahead and see if the schematic matches up with what's on the board here and wired here and there and everywhere. Standard old procedure. And we'll see what happens. But I appreciate old Don, I'm a Junk Collector, for showing that Heathkit oscilloscope. It kind of got me motivated to get my butt out and get the one out of the shed and get this one maybe fixed up. Don't ask me what I'm going to do with it when I'm done. I have no idea. Well, once again, it's this tuner from this airline, and it just came out of the Evapo-Rust after several days. I think it looks pretty darn good. It's not exactly perfect though. There are some very, very tiny spots that didn't come off on the rust. I think one of them's right there. It looks off, but I can see a little bit of rust down in here, but it's not that big a deal. I am not going to sweat that at all. Now the next thing I have to do is to kind of dry it out in the oven with a very, very low temperature, and then I'm going to take these screws out and remove the mica and get that nice and clean and everything, and then go ahead and put it back in. And then we'll clean these on the underside, real good, with pipe cleaners and whatnot and everything. Get everything kind of clean in that area. So as far as I'm concerned, this baby has been de-rusted. Now let's check the old clamshell and see how that baby went. Pretty nasty down in there. Whoa, check that out. No rust at all. Let's rinse that baby off and see what happens. Look at that, the old paint's coming right off. Oh man, look at that. Is that cool or what? Now that was a good deal. Let me scrub that a little bit. Well, I didn't expect that. I did not expect, it must have been a lot of rust up underneath that paint, and that Evapo-Rust just got up in there and ate the rust away, therefore the paint came off. So we still have a little bit to come off. The old brush I took to it didn't get it all, but I can go ahead and use a little stripper. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm amazed. There's not an ounce of rust on, even a speck of rust on this thing anywhere. Boy, that's a good job there. That's going to look real nice once it's painted. Alright, now all I have to do is pour this back in the bottle from whence it came and reuse it later on. Alright, I think I got it all back in there that I can put back in there. The rest I don't want that in there. Now, the one good part about apple rust, it's environmentally safe. It is biodegradable. There we go. Now that should make Mr. Mac 5150 happy. Today's the 5th of December and I'm on my way downtown to a place called Larry's Pizza. It's kind of a buffet style. Boy, they got some great pizza. There's going to be a bunch of Faulkner County Amateur Radio Club members there, of which I am a member. And we're all going to have some pizza, and once done, we're going to head off to one of our members' house. And we have a chore to do. We're going to help them out with something. Well, there it is, Larry's Pizza. Now let's see if I can find a parking spot. This is the gang that's going to help out Glenn with his chore today. Now, I understand you're paying us each $100 to do this, right? Right. Okay, $100. Have you got your money yet? No. No. Are you throwing in pizza with that?
I'll use
it. And, of course, we got Jim over here, and we got Gerald, and I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been, George? Holy crow! I thought maybe you had gone off and never come back to see us again.
Getting close.
Getting close. And then, of course, we got Frankie. And I'm fixing to eat some pizza. Now, you sure we're going to get that $100? I don't want to go up there if it's, my labor is... You're going to work me to death for it, though, right? No? Well, here we are at Glenn's place on top of a hill that overlooks the entire city. The other side of these trees is the entire city. I don't know if you see anything down there. Well, Glenn said he would never live on a flat land. He's got to be up on a hill. And boy, he is too. These are some of his antennas here. A couple of small ones here. Then he's got another one that goes way on up there. He got a bunch of stuff on that. And this is the extendable antenna. He's got two of these antennas here. We're going to go ahead. There's another guy coming with another front loader. I guess he's going to move just the one, about 100 feet. Now here is our second front loader. It's going to work in unison with his. Here's the idea. A front loader gets on this end. Glenn with his front loader gets on this end. They pick it up and they somehow maneuver it around to get it on this flatbed. Now once the flatbed is loaded, it'll be taken all the way around to the other side of Glenn's home here, to the rear of the home, and positioned where it's supposed to go. That is the plan. All right, Glenn's got his part done. He's got the rope tied to the bucket. He's got his end of the extendable tower up. Now we're going to let Frankie's getting his ready with the rope. He's going to hook it to his. Continuing with this display of incompetence, the idea here is to lift both ends up and then back the trailer in under it. It's a good plan. I hope it works out. All right, Frankie's got his end up. Old Jim over here, he's trying to pull it down. All we got to do now is get the trailer to back in underneath. All right, now they're going to back it up. Not bad so far. Very good coordination, backing it up so they can make room for the trailer. Now, old Frankie says he's not too sure about backing his trailer in. He said, don't film it. So guess what? I'm going to film it. Once we get this tower in place around the other side of your home, what kind of antenna are you going to put on it?
A high gain TH7.
A high gain TH7. That means nothing. What kind? Is that for what?
That's a 7-element high gain beam, tri-bander.
Oh, okay. All right.
20.
So what radio are you going to use with it?
Collins.
A Collins. One of those Collins. The Collins in there I saw. Oh, that's cool. No, he missed his target. He almost got it though. Of course, he doesn't have much room there. Okay, what is your plan?
It'll be at my house station. It'll start out, there'll be a Kenwood TS2000 hooked to it. Then
has that Collins been refurbished yet and anything?
I've refurbished it once.
Oh, okay. Is he going to need it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some horns on him, will you? He's not doing bad. He doesn't have a whole lot of room to work with, though.
John, am I going to make the cut?
We got a camera hog over here, folks.
Am I going to make the cut?
Yeah, you'll make the cut. Everything you see here so far is going to be on there. I have some people that are actually interested in this sort of thing, you know. He's doing a pretty good job. All we got to do is kind of swing it over and right on there. Very good job. He's done a great job. All right. So far, so good. Now they're going to drive it forward on both tractors and drop it on the trailer. I can't believe there hasn't been any snafus to this point. You be careful up there, Jim. I think they just about got it. All they got to do is lower it down. I think they're going to get it. All right, good to go. All right. Now, Gerald, you were a truck driver for how many years?
34.
34 years driving all over the United States, right?
Right.
And you drove a truck for the same company I work for.
Right.
Now, let me ask you something. I want you to rate how well he did backing that trailer in on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best.
Well, hell, he did at least a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
So he's not a perfect driver.
He's not perfect, but he did damn good. He did better than most drivers.
All right, now there you go, from a professional 34-year truck driver. He's retired now, though, right? He's sitting around drawing my tax dollars, right?
Right. Right. Not too bad for a techie.
It wasn't bad. Not bad, Frankie. All right, here's the rest of the plan. We bring the, the trailer around, and old Frankie, he's going to back it into this hole right here in the fence. But there's something I really want you to see that's cool. Wait till see where he's at with his backhoe, or with his front loader there and the backhoe. Check out what's right there next to him. You see that right there by the back wheel? It's a fire hydrant in the backyard of Glenn's house. Unbelievable. I can't get over that. A functional fire hydrant right behind the guy's house. That, actually it's kind of a good idea. Maybe everybody should have one of those. And guess what? Down here a little further is his, just at the fence where he separates his shop, which is where we were shortly, from the house. Guess what you see there? Another fire hydrant. This is incredible. And there's the second one. This is amazing. Two fire hydrants. I guess he doesn't have to ever worry about getting water in case his house catches on fire. Now when Frankie backs it around, he's going to try to avoid this wellhead here that's marked by this orange chair and this upside down tub. He's going to back it on in here, and then the two tractors again are going to pick it up. They're going to bring it over. They're going to set it down to where it pretty much aligns with this base that he has laid in here in the cement. So that's part 2. Now Glenn says the concrete here that he's mounting that extendable antenna on goes down in the ground 6 feet. He had some guy come in and dig it out with a backhoe, and then it took, I think he said 9 yards of concrete or something like that. Big base there. All right, he's bringing her in. Doing a pretty good job, pretty good job. And up we go again. Up, up, up. I'm hoping he can get that other one up higher. All he's got to do is get it up enough to clear the trailer. All right, she's good. Well, they got old Gerald, the 34-year truck driver, on it. He's pulling it on out. They're just going to go ahead and continue to man the front loaders. All right. Now all we got to do is get it lined up with this right here. We got the professional eyeballer here. He's bringing them in, bringing them in. Stop. This way, that way. Squat, look. All right, he thinks it's good. We're fixing to find out. Will the holes line up? This ought to be interesting. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, we're going to get a little alignment help from a pry bar there. Little more, little more, little more, little more. Well, first bolt is in. Now we got to get this one to go. We'll be all done here. A little bit of help everywhere. And the second bolt is in. We are done. Now this tower is not designed to be used with guy wire. That's why he put in the 6-foot deep concrete. You get it up, you lock it in place, that's it. You're good to go. But first he wants to get his antenna on, so he's not going to erect it today. Glenn showed me his TH7. This entire thing will go on top of that tower. How much does this thing weigh, Glenn?
Maybe 30 pounds.
30 pounds up there, and it'll be swinging in the wind. But that's all right, the tower's designed to take it. Well, that's it on the old airline chassis too. We're going to go ahead and take it out. I'm going to give it one more washing, top and bottom. We're going to pour all the liquid back in these jars over here. And then we're going to put it in the oven and let it dry for 2-3 hours at a real very low temperature on the proof setting on the wife's stove. Very, very low temperature, and it'll dry it out really good. Well, I've left the old chassis in the oven now. I decided to just go ahead and leave it in there for about 3.5 hours. I want it to be totally dry. The temperature is about 150 degrees on that proof setting. The proof setting is what you use, you know, to bake bread, to raise the bread, you know, before you actually bake it. So let's get it out of there. Well, that's not bad at all. Now, I know that probably looks like rust in the camera, but it's actually not. It's nice and clean all the way around. Not too shabby. I think what I can do now is, I like the fact that these shafts on these things, of course they're jammed. They don't want to work at all. I'm going to have to get some WD-40 out on that. Anyway, I need to tape off all the sockets. And let's get a coat of, that Rust-Oleum primer on there so it doesn't rust anymore. Then last but not least, there's 7 tubes in that little oscilloscope, that OL1. And all tested good except for one, the half-wave rectifier, the 1V2. Anyway, I made contact with Bob Dobush with Find a Tube. I told him I'd probably need about 2 of those in case there's another problem with that when I fire that thing up. Tomorrow I'll have all the capacitors in the chassis. I'll go ahead and put all these tubes back in, then we'll just have to sit and wait until Bob gives us the 1V2. He has a real good deal on them, NOS for $3. You can't beat that. So I ordered 2. Anyway, we'll pick up with the chassis and we'll pick up with the oscilloscope in the next Mish-Mash video. Until then, this is John.